Hey everybody, Mr. Withers here. Today we are beginning our project for angle and line relationships called City of Angles. You will be getting a sheet that looks like the form on the left here that says your City of Angles. Your job today is going to be to start working on drawing and constructing your own city. So you can design this however you'd like, and I have a few examples that I'll show you today. But every single city that is drawn needs to follow the guidelines on the left side of this screen on the page that you'll have in front of you. If you follow these guidelines, as long as you have these things, then you are free to do whatever you want with your city. It can look however you want it to. It can have whatever you want in it. It is free reign. It is your choice. However, you just need to make sure that the things on the left side of this page are a part of your city. So I have a few student examples I'm going to show you on the right side, just so you can get an idea of what this has looked like in past years and what we mean by these locations for these buildings. So you can see the first direction says 6 parallel streets. So you can see that this student has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streets that are parallel to each other, and that follows that direction. He labeled those streets with names. And on his sheet, that's what he would put in these boxes, would be the names of those streets. The second direction says 2 transversal streets. So his 2 transversals are there and there. He has given those streets names, and that's what would show up in those 2 boxes. So 2 transversals. 1 perpendicular street. His perpendicular street is here. It is perpendicular to all those parallel lines, and he would put the name of that street there. Traffic lights or stop signs at 4 different intersections. You can see his traffic lights or stop signs are here, 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 and there. Those are all at places that lines intersect. And what you would put in these boxes would be the 2 streets that intersect at whatever place your stoplight is. So for example, this stoplight is at the intersection of, it looks like Cherry Street and Pear Street. So in the box, he would write Cherry/Pear for that location. The other light, let's see, this one was at the intersection of Lemon and Orange. So he would just write Lemon/Orange, and you get the idea. So showing what intersection those lights are at. That is kind of the base of your map. The rest of your map then is placing buildings in the right location. And the buildings that are required to be in your city are all listed here on number 5. So there are 10 buildings that need to be a part of your city. You can choose to draw those however you'd like. You can label them. I have some examples I'll show you of other student work where they've used icons for this. Whatever works best for you, however you want your city to look. You're welcome to add as many other options as you want. You just need to have these 10. You can have more than that, but you need to have these 10. So the directions below tell you where to place these buildings. So number 1 says your house and the school need to be at alternate interior angles. So if you look at this example, the school is here, the house is there. Those would be alternate interior angles. These are the parallels. This is the transversal. So they're on opposite sides of the transversal inside the parallel lines. So that's where those are located. Number 2 says the post office and the bank at vertical angles. You can see post office is here, bank is here. Those are vertical angles. They're across from each other. He put a nice little fountain in the middle of the street. You can do whatever you'd like here. Number 3 says the fire department and the police station at alternate exterior angles. So you can see fire stations here, police stations here. So parallel lines like that, transversal. So these are opposite sides of the transversal, outside the parallel lines. So it would be alternate exterior angles. Number 4, restaurant and courthouse at supplementary angles. Courthouse is here, restaurant is here. You can see those make a straight line, so they are supplementary. So you're good to go there. And the last one, number 5, gas station and grocery store at corresponding angles. You can see grocery stores right here, gas stations right here. So these are parallels. This is a transversal. So these are in the same location. They would be corresponding angles. In the boxes on the worksheet for these, you don't need to put anything. You can leave these empty. It's just a place if you were going to maybe label your buildings with an abbreviation or an icon, like if you were going to have your house look like this and you just wanted to put that there, and the school, maybe let's say you were going to put an apple, okay, you could do that. Maybe you were going to use house was the letter H and school is the letter S. You could show me that. You can also just leave these empty if you're going to label them on your map like this student did. So if you want to just leave these blank, you are welcome to leave those blank and just label right on your map. That's totally fine. So I'm going to show you a few other student examples just so you can kind of get a picture of what some other students have done with this project. So this student at the top chose to use 3-dimensional buildings, which is super cool. They still had all of the things on the left side as a part of this map. So everything was still at the correct angles. Everything was still in the right locations. Everything was still present on this map, but they were able to do something a little bit different. Here's another example. This student chose to label their buildings with icons. So they had, like, the fire station was a fire, the house was a house, etc. And they actually made a second page as a key, so you can see what these places are. All right, so they actually gave names to their buildings. So their, let's see, looks like their fire station was called Zoe's Fire Station. So what they did on theirs, when they labeled in these boxes on the left side, they went to the fire station and they actually told me the name. So this was Zoe's Fire Station. Their restaurant, let's see, looks like their restaurant was called Allison's Restaurant. So they went here and they labeled that Allison's Restaurant, and so on. So if you want to give names to your buildings, you can absolutely do that and use the boxes for that. That's fine as well. Let's see, I've got that example. I had a couple students that have done this on their iPads. So this is an example from last year. This student just used some clip art or used a drawing app, took some images online. Again, this meets all of the criteria on the left side. They labeled their buildings directly on the map. So you've got like a bank label there, post office label there. So these are all labeled right on the map, but they chose to do theirs digitally. I have another digital example, I think, as my last one here. Yep, so this is another example of a digital map. So this student was able to do this digitally, and again, meets all the criteria on the left side. Everything is located in the right spot. So you can see there are a bunch of ways to do this project. You can do it on your iPad. You can do it by hand. You can draw and label on the map. You can label with icons. You can draw 3D. You can draw 2D. You can see some of these are black and white, just in pencil. Some of these use color. Some of these use colored pencils. Some use their iPads. So there's all sorts of options for this project. It's really pretty open-ended. All that I care about is that you meet the criteria on this page, which you'll have your own copy of in front of you today. The materials available to you today are rulers. If you need them, I've got those located up front. You can also choose to do your city on a plain white sheet of paper or graph paper. I have both of those available to you as well. All right. Moving forward, we will have today, tomorrow, and Friday to work. These projects are due at the end of class Friday. End of class Friday. So you will have 3 class periods to work. You'll have today, you'll have tomorrow, and you'll be able to work on this Friday. But by the end of class Friday, I need you to hand in a completed project. All right. I should be back tomorrow. So if you have any questions that you can't get answered today, just hold on to those and I will help you out tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Have some fun drawing your city of angles.